Hey there, I'm Fallout, and if you're wondering where the usual hey, here's where XUR is and here's what he's dropping video that I do every Friday, well, I'm currently on vacation in Alaska. I'll be getting back on September 5th, I think. I know, really good timing with the new D2 season. Hey Fallout, how'd you upload this video if you're on vacation? Hey, don't worry about that. Why don't we talk about what you can look for in XUR to judge on your own if his armor rolls are good or garbage, wherever he might be. The weapon roll, to me, is usually pretty easy. If you have it, who cares? If you don't have it, get it. Even if you're a new player and you're worried, what if it's a bad weapon? Doesn't matter, get it. Bungie can and will change the strength of any underperforming weapon at the drop of a hat. In the past, weapons like the Hardlight auto rifle have gone from being pure who cares mediocrity to absolutely crushing the entire meta in PvP overnight. If you don't have the weapon, whatever it is, grab it. You never know what could happen. If we're talking about armor though, I usually follow kind of like a mental flowchart of what I'm looking for in my exotic armor. First of all, the stats have got to be good. And by that, I'm talking at least 60 or above total stats. Exotic armor drops in the wild, yeah, they can get higher than that on the regular. We usually only see XUR selling within the high 50s or low 60s range. So if you roll up to XUR and he's selling something that has a total roll of 58 or 59, I'm usually gonna pass like 9 times out of 10. Again, 58 or 59 is like pathetically low for exotic armor. You can usually do way better. However, the only exception maybe would be to picking up a 58 or a 59 roll would be if the stat distribution is really good for a build you're trying to put together. For example, if I'm a warlock trying to put together a high intellect build and the armor is through the roof good on intellect, even though it's a 58 or a 59 roll overall. That kind of brings me to my next criteria. Are the stats good based on what class the armor is good for? I.e. Hunter, Warlock, or Titan. This one is a lot of personal preference. For Warlock, I always prioritize intellect and or recovery, while at the same time looking for low mobility. My Hunter is really the only class that kind of cares about mobility. It doesn't mean as much to Titans or Warlocks IMO. For Titans, again, intellect or recovery is fine, but I also don't want it to be too low on Resil, as that will affect your barricade cooldown. Like the Warlock, I want mobility to be low on my Titan because my Titan doesn't care about that a whole lot either. Hunter, for me, is really a giant freaking grab bag. Hunter cares about every stat, maybe with the exception being strength, depending on what subclass you're running. I know when I play Revenant or when I'm feeling wacky, Golden Gun, I definitely do care about strength because shurikens and throwing knives are effective and fun. Unlike Titans and Warlocks, Hunters care a lot about mobility because it's tied to the cooldown of their dodge, which is the most broken ability in D2. However, keep in mind that improving mobility on your armor is cheap. Right now, as of the recording of today's video, mobility armor mods will only cost you 3 energy, whereas a recovery mod will cost you 4 and intellect will cost you 5, meaning that really you should be valuing intellect the most, followed by recovery, because even if you do get lowish mobility hunter armor, you can always beef up the mobility factor for cheap. The bottom line though, really, is that if XUR is selling armor that you don't already have, pick it up, and if he's selling armor you do have but the roll is really good, break down your old armor and pick up the new armor. Just be careful that you're keeping stat distribution in mind when you're doing that. If XUR had Titan armor that was 65 overall, but 20 of those points were in mobility, I'd probably keep my current Titan armor at 59 if it had 2 mobility but 20 intellect. Anyway, food for thought. Hope XUR has good gear this weekend, although he probably won't. I will be back from my vacation on September 5th. Hope y'all are enjoying season 15. I can't wait to get back and catch up with all of you. Shout out to the patrons of my channel. Really appreciate all that you do. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.